So last time we were talking, I showed you what it looks like after you do some earthwork and some soil work with a Broadfork. And one of the questions you guys had was, what does it actually look like when I use a Broadfork? So I want to show you, here at KGD Farm, we actually have 4 different Broadforks available, because why not? You want to know which tool is best for the job, and actually these 3 kind of are tailored for different things. So I'll show you each one of them, and then I'll give you a demonstration of what it looks like to properly use a Broadfork. So number 1, this guy, if you want to see. So this is a round tine Broadfork. This one's available at Johnny's Selected Seeds, and you can see it has been in heavy rotation here at the farm. This kind of Broadfork is great for soil that doesn't have a ton of clay and isn't like what they call hard pan. The rounded tines, as you can see, if they meet resistance, tend to bend quite a bit. So if you have like heavy clay soils with a lot of compaction, maybe you're like making a new bed, if you can, you'll want a different kind of Broadfork, not with the round tines, but I'll show you in a second the bladed tines. So this one's great for beds that have already been worked and don't have tons of like chunky concrete and stuff in them. And over here, if you do have hard pan or you're trying to create new beds this season, if you've got heavy clay soils, this one is great for breaking up and aerating heavy soils. So you can see this Broadfork has hardened steel blades for tines. So this one cuts really efficiently through like really dense soils. So this is great for folks who are looking to make new beds in places that are really compacted. Make sure you don't stab your feet. Very super sharp.
Pro tip.
And then this guy is awesome. This might be my favorite. So the only difference between this one and the first one is that it is a little more ergonomic. So the tines are welded on at an angle. At an angle. And also the handlebars are bent. So for folks like myself who have bad backs, I really appreciate this one the most. You'll see in a minute that you do a lot less like bending, and that you can actually like have your arms do a lot of the work when you're using something like this. So, and there are many, you'll see if you're in the market for a Broadfork, there are many different kinds available, and of course people get very fancy with, you know, colors and fancinesses like bent handles and what have you. This is great, but also heavy. So one thing I'll also note is like you want to look at what kind of tine you have. Some tines are deeper or shorter depending on what kind of soils you have. And also the handlebars, metal, fiberglass, or wood. I will say that I will break the wooden ones every once in a while, and the fiberglass ones are nice and light, but they also tend to break. Whereas this guy, which is all steel, is extremely heavy. So it's ergonomic and it saves your back, but lugging this around can be kind of a task. So anyways, I'll start with that one. So to use a Broadfork, what I like to do is work backwards, so that the soil that you're working is in front of you, so that you're not then trampling the soil that you just aerated and fluffed up. So I work backwards. So what you do is you set the tines in like this, and these are 30-inch beds, and the tines, these Broadforks come in different widths too, depending on your bed. For example, like this one is perfect for 4-foot bed. So if you have raised beds, the wider ones you can do just in like one sweep. But if you want something smaller that's like easier to move around and you have smaller beds, they come in smaller sizes like this. So what you do is you push that into the soil, and then you're gonna step on it with your full weight until that bar is right on the soil. And then this is the tricky part, so keep your back straight. You're going to push down to about a 45-degree angle with the soil, and you're gonna see the soil just kind of break apart. You're looking for that like lever action to just kind of pop the soil up. And you'll see also some of this compost kind of drops down into the seam, which you want. And then you pull it out. And then you're gonna go about 6 to 8 inches away from where you just were, and then you're gonna do it again. Boop. Like that. And it's a workout. It's definitely a workout, but totally worth it. I'll show you this guy real quick. Same deal. Be careful with these guys. They are pointy blades of steel. 45 degrees. And now you see this didn't move as much as the other one, right? You didn't see the soil like kind of like tip up a little bit. That's because these beds were already broadforked. So this soil is nice and loose. Its structure isn't going to, you'll see you got a lot of movement out of the round tines, and you didn't get a lot of movement out of these like blades because the soil is already like aerated and loose. If I were to put this on compacted soil, you'd see a lot more movement. You'd see those cuts. So yeah, this is just indicating to me that this is actually the wrong tool for this kind of soil. That is the correct tool. And this guy, fancy one, same deal. And then, oh. So like not a whole lot of movement to get those tines to do their job. So like this is more like an upright standing position. This is the ergonomic one is a little bit of a back saver. You just have to go slightly more forward with it. So nice.
A dream.
I really like this one. I like this one. We had the first one for a long time, and that one definitely has its usefulness. This one definitely has its usefulness, but I think of the three, I tend to use this one the most. So that's a little bit more information on how to broadfork your beds. Let us know if you ever have any questions, and have fun prepping your beds for spring planting. We'll see you soon.